Nice. Dinner's a good idea. Not your other email. Been there. Nice. All right, I'm going to unmute us whenever you're ready. Alrighty, I think, let me get this set up right so that Noah actually shows up on screen.
Yeah, play nice.
Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. We're here. We're live. It is someday. Actually, specifically, it's Saturday.
I don't hear you on the stream.
You don't hear me on the stream. Okay. You probably don't hear yourself then. No, you probably do.
No, I don't.
Are you
Wait.
sure?
Yep, that was my bad. I do.
Okay.
I forgot that I can set my Discord audio output to be different than my computer and still hear this versus that. It's great design. I love it. 10 out of 10. Would do again.
Would do again.
We'll probably do next week. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, everyone. Yeah. We have a good number of topics. Noah got more hardware. And Chandler gets irritated with more people that he goes to school with. So
I was gonna say, is this from yesterday?
It's
Or was that 2 days?
It's our
Whatever that
normal
was.
lives. It was no, it was Friday. It was yesterday.
Felt like so long ago. Yesterday was long.
Yeah, it kind of was. It kind of was.
You were on a highlight reel.
I was on for people who don't know. So Kotaku used to have this show that they would run on their website every once in a while, called Highlight Reel, and it was a weekly thing that one guy did on their team, and he at one point they either stopped wanting to run the show or something else, and he basically was like, hey, can I have the show then, like, please, because like if you guys aren't going to do anything with it and like that's my job, can I have it? And they were like, sure,
just let it sit.
Yeah, he's like, I would still want to do it, right? Because like that's my thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, he I honestly I don't know what his name is. On Twitter it's Papishu, or at Papishu, or the the Kate Sith of gaming YouTube. But yeah, there was one clip that I made of myself playing Halo the other day. And it was a while ago that I made that clip, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna submit it because it's cool. It was 3 no scope headshots in a row with people going over some jump pads, and it was just like, yep, I'm proud of that. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. That was
It was pretty
freaking
cool.
awesome. I kid you not, I showed that to everybody at work. After you sent that to me, I was like, yo, check this out. My friend made it onto a highlight reel.
It was pretty cool. I'm glad that I showed up on that. It made me very happy that someone else thought it was as cool as I did. But yeah. Other than that, I don't know. We're gonna quickly cover some of the stuff from last week. Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard Zynga.
Yay.
In other words, they bought Activision Blizzard and
And friends.
copyright. Yeah, it's like copyright and legal stuff. So we're gonna see what happens there. I don't think anyone wants Bobby Kotick to still exist, but they cannot, I don't think for legal purposes, say that Bobby Kotick will leave once they take over.
I saw something like last week saying that he's going to be stepping down once the acquisition occurs.
And that wouldn't surprise me. I also read probably the same thing, if not something that quoted it or was quoted or something, but it was it's more or less that he's going to get a very big buyout.
Oh yeah, it's like $300 something million,
Yeah,
like 320 million.
And the thing is, some people are throwing a fit. The fact it's like, oh well, he's still going to get money. It's like, yeah, he's going to get money. He's going to get money no matter what. If he stays in
Oh
charge, he's
yeah,
going to get money. If he leaves,
yeah.
he's going to get money. When you
It's
own
the
a
golden
large
parachute.
yeah, when you own that large amount of a company, when you have that many shares,
Yeah,
you just straight up that's a thing. You're gonna get money, period.
it's just how it works. It sucks.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
make the rules. It
that's
wouldn't be
it's not
that way.
100% guaranteed either because that's
Yeah,
just speculation and rumor at the moment.
exactly.
Um, I hope that he does leave. He either gets bought out, steps down, whatever the situation, whatever they're gonna call it. I hope that he leaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
seriously.
because I don't want him around. He's not doing his job well. And when I
Yeah.
say that, he's doing his job exceptionally well. He's making a lot of money for the shareholders.
Mm-hmm. He's not doing anything for you and I.
He's not doing his job as the boss of people well.
Mm-hmm.
But legally, his job, I think, more or less, is just to make money for shareholders.
Oh, definitely.
And so that job he's doing exceptionally well.
Make high
But everything
level
else, yeah,
decisions for
for money purpose. But
yeah.
yeah, for taking care of your employees, no, he's been doing horrible at that for a long time, and he's been a direct part of the problem in some situations,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Have to say allegedly.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm not. Oh, and they didn't buy Zynga. Who bought Zynga recently? They bought King.
Yeah. Candy's Crush.
Yeah, Candy Crush and stuff like that. Who bought Zynga? Was that Facebook?
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Take Two. Take Two.
Take two. Yeah.
The assholes behind let's not make your Game of the Year award actually go to a game named after what you want to name it.
Yeah.
And GTA. But yeah, they bought Zynga,
And
which
GTA.
and GTA.
I like that.
Um,
That little asterisk.
yeah. So, but no, they bought King, and all of that falls under the Activision banner. Dude, ice cream sandwich. Heck
No.
yeah.
No, it's a moon
No,
pie.
it's a moon pie. Equally as good.
I'll have ice cream later.
I need to actually run to the store after the podcast because I need face wash. I
Oh, I'm in the
need
same boat.
I need some other stuff. I wrote it down. I have a little whiteboard on the fridge that I write down my grocery list on.
I
So
like
there's some
that.
stuff in there, but I need
I
face
type it on my
wash.
phone and then never look at it.
Yeah, that happens to me sometimes, but that lets me like look at it before I leave the apartment and be like, okay, just remember this crap
Mm-hmm.
before I get to the
That's
store.
smart. I need to do that. Or just put it on
Yeah,
the back of the door.
yeah, but yeah. So they bought Activision Blizzard King, meaning that basically based off of Microsoft's previous actions with companies that they've bought and games that they own, everything Activision Blizzard is going to wind up on Game Pass, which is pretty cool. You are
Yeah.
incentivizing me to keep Game Pass. I planned on stopping in February after my
Your
$1 for
three-month.
3 months run out.
Yeah.
But honestly, I might keep it, especially because I have the Surface. Like that gives me access
Yeah.
to a whole bunch of like smaller games that can run on this thing
Yeah.
like Monster Train, Dicey Dungeons. I've been playing some of that recently. It's pretty cool. And so getting like Activision Blizzard titles for my main rig. I
Yeah,
don't play
dude.
that many of them, but like Activision owns the rights currently, and probably for a while, to Tony Hawk games, to Spyro, Crash
Oh,
Bandicoot.
that's right.
You know, like a lot of really good games.
Yeah, I'd love to play some Crash, dude.
You know, I don't care about Call of Duty, but you know, whatever.
Yeah,
Activision
same.
Blizzard, Overwatch 2 when that comes out,
Mm-hmm.
and potentially either a deal, or some form of thing where it's like World of Warcraft is probably going to get a big kick in player base
Yeah.
if that happens.
Yeah, seriously. It'd be
And
nice
my hope,
if your Game Pass subscription counted as your WoW
what
subscription.
what I would not be surprised at all is if your Game Pass subscription counted as your WoW subscription, but you still
Mm-hmm.
had to buy the DLCs. You had to buy the expansions,
Yeah. See, that's
which
totally fine with me.
and I would see that happening, and like that's the thing
It would
for
get me
Final
back into
Fantasy
playing.
14, right?
Yeah.
I want to play the game. I do, but I
Yeah.
don't want to pay however much it is a month
Mm-hmm.
to play that game. I buy your expansions. I want to play the game. You have a cosmetic store. Let people buy your cosmetics. Put more cosmetics in
Yeah.
the cosmetic store if that's what it takes. But
It's
and
it's
so I think it'll
13
be
bucks for a month.
yeah, and it's not feasible for a lot of people
Yeah,
considering
that's not for me.
yeah, like if that's the only game that they play, sure, you know.
Yeah.
That's one game every 4 months to other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're also playing other games and buying the expansions and stuff like that, that becomes expensive.
Oh yeah. I couldn't do
So,
that.
yeah, I don't want to. But my hope is Microsoft kind of sorts things out at Activision Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
It also, I think I might have mentioned this to you. I might have mentioned on the podcast, like when it was kind of like rumored. Microsoft at one point was asked before this got announced, before their acquisition got announced, which by the way doesn't actually
Mm-hmm.
close until 2023 because the
Yeah.
legalities and people can be like, are you monopolizing stuff? You know,
Mm-hmm.
but there is an agreement behind the two companies of the deal currently, and it's just about going through the
Yeah.
process legally. Anyways, before that got officially announced, Microsoft was basically just like, we are not in a position to punish them as because like we've looked at our past and history and stuff like that, and it's just like that brings that statement into a new light when they when they
Mm-hmm.
buy them is they're just basically
Yeah.
like, we're not going to talk bad on a studio that we're about to acquire.
Yeah.
So I don't know, my hope is that they clean it up in there because I want to play Overwatch 2 and I want to be happy with playing Overwatch 2, and
Yeah.
granted,
Right.
by the time this happens, Overwatch 2 will have been developed in a time period where it's bad anyways. But I want to
Yeah.
actively be happy supporting the future of the companies anyways.
I really hope
Um,
there's Easter eggs in it about about what life was like at Blizzard during this time.
well, I don't know, but they bought them, and
For a lot of money.
we'll see what happens. $70
Gosh,
billion.
yeah, about 10 times more than what they paid for um Bethesda's
No,
parent company.
Bethesda ZeniMax was like 40 billion, wasn't it?
I thought it was 7.
ZeniMax. Microsoft ZeniMax was a no. You're right. It was like 7.5 billion.
7.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. While
Yeah.
Blizzard and ZeniMax are by no means a small business,
Mhm.
small company,
They're
Activision
not.
Blizzard is Activision Blizzard and King, which is the
Yeah.
number one mobile income company in the world
Yeah.
between Call
It's
of Duty
crazy.
Mobile and Candy
Candy
Crush.
Crush.
And
Yeah.
also like Blizzard and all of its IPs and Activision and it
Mhm.
literally, other than EA, and its FIFA series, it's like
Yeah.
COD is the largest grossing game franchise I think, other than FIFA.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy that they were able
per
to
per
just
game,
put a
not of
number
all
to
time,
it.
but yeah. So it's pretty, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
very
know.
weird. Very weird time that we live in with all of these companies being acquired.
Yeah. Well,
They should buy our podcast.
I mean, how much you want to offer, guys?
$67 billion.
I mean, I would take like 100 million, and Noah gets 50, and I get 50,
Yeah.
and then
I
we're
was gonna
just
say
like, and then
I'd do
and
it
then
for
after
like
taxes,
$40.
we both probably only get like 30,
Oh yeah.
but
100%.
but then that's still like that's set for life in a reasonable spending environment.
Yeah.
So
I take it.
I'd take it too. Get
Buy
on
our
that, guys.
podcast.
Microsoft, do
Yeah.
it. Phil Spencer, talk to us.
I'm friends
You
with him
don't
on
have my number, but I'd love
Slack,
to give
so
it to you.
yeah,
um,
email our people and we'll get back with you.
yeah, nostalgiathon.contact@gmail.com, because I don't want to pay for a subdomain right now on that. Um, anyways, moving on. Noah, have you actually looked into the VR MMO Zenith that I sent you?
Dude, I actually have. I have a friend who was like, "Hey guys, this was earlier this month."
Mhm.
He's like, "Hey, this game comes out sometime in January."
Like 2 days ago.
Uh yeah, it was before they actually put a date on it,
Hmm.
and he
Well,
was
they had
like,
a
"We should
date on
all
the
play
Quest
this."
version for a while, but the other versions were not given an
Mhm.
official release.
Yeah. I meant specifically on Steam.
Yeah.
I should have prefaced that. Specifically on Steam, they just had January
Hmm.
2022. And I thought it looked super cool. Like watching the people like fly and
Hmm.
everything. I was like, this game looks pretty fun. It seems to be doing pretty good too.
$30. I'm honestly considering getting it for like on Steam and on the Quest, because
Hmm.
it's cross progression. They've already said
Ooh,
that. And so
I
I
didn't
would
know that.
have it on Steam to play like in the
Hmm.
apartment, and just
Yeah.
Airlink, and Palm is meowing from outside the door. He's not allowed in right now because I don't want to. He has not left me alone all day. Um, he's been biting at my ankles, and part of it's I don't think he feels good. Like
Oh yeah.
tangent real fast on Palm, because he's meowing at the door. He doesn't really feel
Probably.
good right now. He
Hmm.
had a little he got a little sick earlier today.
Oh, I hate that.
And so he's probably just wanting some
Retention.
attention and to be around people, but he keeps like scratching at my ankles and biting at my ankles, and I'm just like, no man,
Yeah.
like you can hop on my lap, you can get pets,
You
you
can love
can
me.
sit in the same room as me, I don't care, but if you're gonna attack me, I'm gonna lock myself in a room. You can
Yeah.
have the rest of the apartment, but
I
um you know
love that.
but yeah. Anyways,
I love the
the
Quest
Zenith.
placement you have in the background.
Yeah, I've got my Quest is charging right now, and the box is under it, its case, and then Brooks' Quest is under that. So, but no, I'm honestly, I think what I'll probably do first is I will get it on the Quest, and
Hmm.
if I like it enough, right,
Yeah.
to really like deep dive play it, I'll probably also get it on Steam. That way I
Heck
can
yeah,
have
dude.
like, you know, the best looking version for when I'm here, but when I want
Hmm.
to just, like if
Heck
I'm on
yeah.
the go and I'm at like at my mom's place or something like that, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I want to play a game real fast,
Heck
I
yeah,
can do
dude.
that.
I like that.
So
I might be in
I'm
that same boat.
it looks pretty good, and the fact that it's only $30 is pretty interesting. I don't know how much there is to it, but they have already said beforehand that other than your upfront cost, the money that they make is through a cosmetic store.
Mm.
So they are not charging for any future expansions or
Oh, that's
DLCs.
really cool.
They
I
did
like that.
they did publicly say in that statement that might change,
Hmm.
but that the current plan is to just we'll make our money off of your initial purchase and cosmetics. So
I'm a big fan of that.
yeah, me too.
I can get behind that. That just, I don't know why, but that made me think of, do you remember in 2015 whenever the word online was that Destiny one was going to be playable for 7 to 10 years. They were going to keep coming out with
Well,
stuff.
that was the initial pitch, right?
Yeah,
But there's only so much paint you can put on a pig. And Destiny itself,
exactly.
like honestly, I really like Destiny 1.
Yeah, me
But
too.
its initial campaign was relatively short. Now that being, and I say that it was about the length of a Halo campaign, or a Halo at the time campaign, Halo 4 campaign,
Yeah.
right? And it cost the same amount as Halo 4,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But it was not advertised as a solo slash maybe co-op shooter. It was advertised as a long running, first of its kind, basically shooter MMO, right?
Yeah.
Looter shooter MMO. It was not that.
Yeah.
And its DLCs were actually not that bad. The first one was
Mhm.
kind of the second one was kind of and then it was
Yeah.
Taken King. Taken King was great.
Yeah.
And then it was Iron Forge or what was it?
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
I don't know. I never actually played that one.
Yeah, I didn't
But it was supposedly
I
okay.
didn't carry
Had a
on.
lot more lore in it.
Yeah.
And then Destiny 2 happened, obviously, because there's only so much that you can update a game engine. Take hint Bethesda, before you can't
Oh
really do that
gosh.
much. You you spend more time trying to update the engine to allow you to put new things in the game
Yeah.
than just starting from scratch or using a
Oh
different engine.
yeah. Easily.
So Destiny 2 happened, and Destiny 2, I don't know. I liked its. I liked the first three missions,
Yeah.
and I played through the entire campaign, the initial
I did
campaign,
not.
and I played through the first DLC.
Mhm.
And now that it's free to play, like that's hype, right? But
Yeah.
you can't play through the campaign because they do the vault stuff, where and
Mhm.
not the vault as in the raid, as in like they just
Yeah.
kind of like they take out and put in pieces of previous content as it goes
Mhm.
because the game is like huge and also
Yeah.
but it's one of those things where I'm just like but now I can't play through the campaign with my friends, right? If Brooke wants
Yeah.
to get into the game with me, it's no longer let's play through the campaign together. Let's play through the story. Let's do the strikes. It's well, I'm light level ridiculous right now because I have
Yeah.
played and I have all this awesome gear. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna one shot things as we walk through levels that you have no
Yeah.
context of.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like playing Borderlands with someone who's already beat the game like 2 times.
yeah, Noah, it's like playing Borderlands. Someone that's a
Who has
reference to
the
Noah and I's
infinity gun?
first time. Yeah, Noah and I's first playing Borderlands together. I had never played a Borderlands game before. I wasn't really big into shooters at the time, and I'm playing it. And Noah comes in with this rocket launcher that shoots 5 rockets at once that cluster bombs and just like
Yeah.
wipes out the entire first area. And I'm just like, I'm still walking down the hill, Noah.
Oh yeah, because I could just
You could
jump
just,
off.
yeah, you could just, do whatever. And I think your movement speed was higher than mine, but
And I was Craig or Krieg.
yeah, because you would go full creek mode, and I don't know,
Yeah.
but
And it would recharge in like 2 seconds if someone shot me.
yeah, so
Ah, good
but
times.
yeah. Anyways, Zenith VR MMO looks cool. I might get it.
Well, let me know if you do.
Yeah, I will. I'll
That
let
would
you
be
know.
fun. Heck yeah.
Next up, dude, Pokemon Arceus. How much have you played of it?
Let's see. So on Thursday at like 11 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
I just turned it on so I could watch like the intro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say I've played like an hour, maybe.
Okay. So I've played. So you basically you've gotten through like the initial tutorial, basically,
Yeah, I just
of like it's like this is how you
what
get out
was
into the
yeah,
more or less the wild areas
yeah.
and catch things and fight stuff.
Mm-hmm. Which I am just I am loving this game,
I
dude.
love it too. Have you? So there's two things that I noticed a little
Mm-hmm.
bit into me playing that I absolutely adore. One, when you go into your house or anyone else's house for that matter,
Yes.
you have your shoes on. But the moment that you leave that dirt path inside, your shoes come off and
Yes.
you're
Your
barefoot.
shoes come off. Yes.
And it's just like that's great. Like
Like
that's one of
the
those
little
small attention to
details.
detail things.
Yeah.
Second one is, did you know that you can actually, when your Pokemon is battling, you can move your character around?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I didn't realize that until like 5 battles, and I was like, did I just move my character before?
I
I was just like, I thought it was like, okay, well the battle had ended, and so maybe it just like it left the battle, and and then I tried it in the next battle. It's like, no, I can
Mhm.
view this battle at any
You can
perspective that I
you
want
can
to,
literally just run around.
and
Yeah,
that is great.
because I was playing in handheld mode, and I was laying in bed, so I was like this,
Hmm.
and I only noticed that in the like first battle you had to do, uh, because I like started dropping my switch and I hit it, and my guy just started charging towards my starter. I was like, what is happening?
Who'd you choose?
I went with Cyndaquil.
Same.
I yeah, it just felt right.
Did you know that? And this is, I don't know this for sure because I scrolling through. I think just like on my phone, the Google start page where it like shows you stories.
Yeah.
Um, it was like it was like a rumor that was just like your starters have new final evolutions instead of the third standard evolution for those starters. They're different versions for that region. I'm just like, oh.
Okay, I wondered about that, and I think that they have. This is just a guess. I think it's just that they have a different design.
I mean, yeah, I imagine it's probably the same exact thing, but it looks different. Um, that
Because
being said, my
I've
Cyndaquil
seen
can learn a
Typhlosion in
psychic
the game.
move.
What?
Yeah, so you weren't far enough in for this, but this isn't spoiler.
Yeah.
There's a up at the if you've walked around the town, you know there's like this training area, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit in, you can talk to someone there, and they can teach your Pokemon moves. It's it's the move master basically.
Yeah.
I can teach Cyndaquil a psychic move.
That's so weird.
Um, and part of me makes that part of that makes me think that like the final evolution will have like a second, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Like a second type or
yeah, a second type,
yeah.
or a variation of types, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't
That's
know.
so cool.
I'm really enjoying the game.
Yeah.
And the big
I
thing
was
is I
so
don't
happy when
look,
you sent me that picture.
dude, me downloading the update for it and it
Uh-huh.
being in my Switch.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of fun. In fact, in our podcast planning sheet, the the topic name is Pokemon
Hot,
Arceus is hot fire.
hot fire.
But no, I really enjoy it. And yeah, its graphics. It shows the Switch's age for sure, and the fact
Oh,
that it's
for
basically
sure.
a glorified mobile PS3.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's really not a bad thing.
it's yeah, and here's my thing. The graphics themselves are fine. The poly count, polygonal count on stuff is
Yeah.
fine, right? There's some
Yeah.
moments
It's
where
not
I'm
bad
like
at
I'm
all.
walking around the open world and like there's like sheer cliffs that I'm just like, oh yeah, like that,
Yeah.
that's a really harsh angle for that, hill that you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. But also I'm just like, I'll get over it.
Yeah.
The big thing
Or
for
if
me is draw distances.
yes. I was
I
gonna
will be
say
walking and it'll be clearly noticeable that like a tree has just spawned. Um,
yes.
and so LODs, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Texture resolution's pretty low. Like the resolution on the Switch itself, I think it runs at 1080p/720. It might run a little under
I
that, might
think
like run
I think it's
900, and
yeah,
but it,
it's under that.
yeah, the resolution itself is fine for the most part. I don't notice it, but the texture resolution on some things is lower than it. So like clothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's moments where it's like you can see the blur around stuff. I just want like you know
Yeah.
when there's an emblem on a shirt, just make it harsh lines. Don't give me the blur around it.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that, it could probably run perfectly fine with that higher quality resolution on that shirt. That probably just comes down to your artists were given a hard uh, budget of like this is what your resolution needs to be for every asset. You cannot make
Mhm.
these ones higher resolution or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, it looks
Resource
like a fine game.
management.
Yeah, like it looks like a fine game. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't look great, but it looks like the best Pokemon game that has existed, give or take a little bit. There's some areas in Sword and Shield that I would go so far as to say that look like really, really good.
Mhm.
But part of that is that a lot of it's more enclosed, and the wild areas have like very specific like themed zones that
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah,
but
I'm a big fan of the game. I'm just excited to play a ton more of it. It's
me
so
too.
freaking fun cuz it's like it's the game we all wanted for
Yeah.
a long time now.
And my thing is, I am so hoping that they take the things that they added and implemented in this game, the next Pokemon game, they keep with that, right?
They keep
The
with it.
ability to
Yeah.
the ability to catch Pokemon out of battle.
Mhm.
That's not something that is obscene, especially considering that Pokemon
Yeah.
Go and Pokemon Let's Go exist, where you just
Yeah,
can't even battle
exactly.
wild Pokemon.
You literally just catch them.
So and also the ability to walk around battles and battles happening on the spot is great.
Yeah.
I super enjoy that. It
Mhm.
Because in the past, every Pokemon battle has taken place from the same perspective outside of the stadium games.
Yeah.
And so the ability to be like, I wonder what this move looks like from this side, or
Yeah.
I really want to
From the
get a
straight
better
on.
view of this, or
Mhm.
it's awesome. I enjoy it.
Yeah. That got me thinking about like well, I lost my train of thought for a second. What was it? Oh no.
I don't know.
It was it was
Oh, and the
about
Pokemon walk around during the battle too, so like they'll move around. It's great.
yeah, the like side and side and stuff.
Yeah, like it's still turn based, so like the other Pokemon like
Yeah.
won't attack and yours won't attack until you choose stuff, but it's like it just makes it feel more alive than just a you know.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Whenever so whenever we went like 3D for Pokemon games,
Mm-hmm.
with like X and Y
X and Y
and
and Ruby and or
yeah,
Ultra
Ultra,
or
yeah,
Sun
Sun
and
and
Moon and
Moon,
then whatever Ruby and Sapphire. I don't remember what their
Alpha Sapphire
Alpha
and
Sapphire and Omega Ruby.
Yeah. With those games, whenever we went 3D, it was 3D, but it was locked perspective.
Yeah,
Uh, and then we got to Sword and Shield, and we had less of a locked perspective whenever you were in that big area.
yeah, in the wild zones.
Yeah, you could look around with the right stick, uh, sometimes in that game, but now it's so nice that you can literally just like look around. You can just
Yeah,
appreciate what's around you.
yeah. And I understand there's no need for this, right? Because the world is built in such a way
Oh,
that this is not required. I hate the fact that there's not a jump button
yeah.
because I inherently, in an open world game, want
Just
to
want to
jump.
start. Yeah, you just want to climb up stuff.
And there's I can that's just
You
a
can kind of
that's
roll
not
up
something that's
stuff, but
wrong with the game. That's not something that's wrong with the game. I just want to be able to
it's
jump.
just another thing you want.
It's like Link from Breath of the Wild. 90% of the time that you jump, jumping does not matter.
Yeah.
They could have done it every other way that they did in the entire game series, right? But having the
Hmm.
ability to jump when you want is just like a nice feature.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nervous tick that
Yeah.
you need whenever playing an open world.
So, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and I can't wait to play some more. It's so fun, literally. Oh, and you can craft like
You can
oh,
craft Pokeballs and potions and stuff like that, which is
amazing. It's
it's
beautiful.
great. It's pretty
Makes me
good.
so happy.
Also, you can the place to like store Pokemon is just like it's not
Yeah.
one spot in like a place that you're never really gonna return to because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Or the fact that like you can get certain berries that stun, and then you can throw those at Pokemon first.
Have you gotten a request from someone yet in the game?
Yeah.
Have you gotten to the point where the guy's just like, give me a Wurmple?
Yeah, I did that one.
Okay. He doesn't have a Wurmple before. You give him the Wurmple, and there's now a Wurmple that stands next to him. And it's like another nice little touch. Like, there's a
Yeah,
lot of, yeah.
they didn't they didn't have to show that he now
And
had that Wurmple.
and all of this is for me to say, it's not lazy game development.
Yeah.
It's just having to work around the system that you're on. And
Mm-hmm.
some graphic stuff, it might be, you know, hard requirements given by your superiors when they could do more and better in certain areas, but
But
you have the graphics budget.
Chandler, the
Yeah.
Switch OLED edition came out during the same time as the PS5. You're telling me that they don't have the same
Yeah.
power?
So I was hoping that you would bring this up, Noah. So yeah, so the other day I'm texting Noah and I'm complaining heavily about some people. I'm in a game dev class in the university that I go to, and for those of you that don't know, I have a degree in game programming already. I'm taking this class for just like a look at the professor. Hey, can you just give me the full instructions of the assignment, and then I'll just do it in like a day, and then turn it in. It's just as like I wanted an elective that was like pretty easy for me to go through and stuff like that. I'm waiting for class to start, and there's these people, which, by the way, I'm a computer science major. This class is a computer science class, and the other people in the class with me are computer science majors. Also, you cannot take it your first semester here, which means that you have to have been a computer
No.
science major for more than a semester.
Which means they existed before today.
Yeah, which means that they existed in college and as a comp sci major before today. So they do not know the concepts of how game development works, what lazy game development looks like, um, uh, how piracy works and affects people, and piracy of like games, not like yo ho
Not
pirates life for me
pirates.
piracy. That's a whole different effect on people's lives, and how hardware works. So they were talking before class. They were just like, it's like the PS5 is like, yeah. I'm paraphrasing here. They're like, it's like the last thing that you'll ever need, right? But like the PC, you get yourself a really good PC. That's like the end game of gaming, man. And it's just like, what? No,
My
first off, you can have
6700K was like pooping the bed like a year ago.
yeah, it's like you can have a PC and you can have the best specs in a PC. And let me let I'll let you in on a little secret here.
I'm
You
ready. Hit
can
me.
still enjoy and buy and play games on consoles. Did you know that?
I'm
Did you
gonna be
know that
honest.
that's possible? Did
I didn't know
did
that.
did you know that that's possible? It's
This-
possible. It's encouraged
And
by
if you
me
use our
specifically.
code, you can get 3 months for $1 with
We
Game
don't have a
Pass.
code. You can't actually.
Use the
But no,
code that they give you.
I have a PlayStation 5, a PC with a good it's high-end hardware. We've talked about it before. Go listen to our other podcasts. I also have a Switch and a Wii U, but that we use for other reasons.
Hey, Wii U.
But no, the reason I have that is because Nintendo games, they're pretty good. I like playing them. I also like having a
Yeah, dude.
mobile system to play games on, right?
Yeah.
The PlayStation, Sony puts out a lot of really good quality games. Uncharted series, Little Big
Odin.
Planet, Jack and Daxter, although that's an older series. The Last of Us, not
Yeah.
my game of choice. Horizon Zero Dawn, which is now on PC, thankfully for a lot of people. But also the
Yeah.
second one's going to be at the very least a timed exclusive for Sony. God of War
Yeah.
games, again, the first
I was
one,
just about to
or
say.
2016, is now on
Mhm.
PC. Thankfully, because a lot of people now get to play that who
You
don't
mean
have
God of War
PlayStations.
2022?
What?
Because for PC people,
Oh, screw you.
not Ragnarok. I am
But no,
excited for that.
Ragnarok is also probably going to be a timed exclusive. So it's like
Yeah.
I want to play on the PlayStation. On top of that, before recently,
Hmm.
the Yakuza series was exclusive to
Yeah.
PlayStation. Before recently, the Kingdom Hearts series was exclusive to PlayStation. There's a lot of Persona series is still currently outside of 4 Golden and the
Yeah.
spin-offs still exclusive to PlayStation. Um And like that's the thing. There's a lot of really good games that come out on PlayStation that are either
Mm-hmm.
exclusive, timed exclusive, or owned by Sony.
Yeah.
I want to play them. I do, straight up, and I enjoy them. So I'm gonna do that. And I have a PC for my Microsoft games because now, thankfully, Microsoft is putting them on Xbox and PC. All of their games,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the vast majority of them, not necessarily all of them, but the vast
Yeah.
majority of them.
Yeah. I
And that's
sadly
great
I can't
because
play default solitaire on my
yeah,
Xbox yet, but
but
one day.
it's great because I'm not an Xbox person. Never owned an Xbox in my life. Never will own an Xbox in my life unless that actually becomes like the last console to be all consoles. Microsoft, please don't buy Sony. Uh, uh, they
That
can't
would be
afford to buy
weird.
Sony, by the way.
Yeah, no.
They can't. Um, but it's one of those things where it's just like now I get to play all the Xbox games. The only Halo game that I can't play is 5, right? I can play
Oh,
Forza, I can play Infinite, I can play all the
yeah.
old Halo games. I can play Ori and the Blind Forest, which I can do on the Switch, which is great.
Yeah.
But there's like
I
a whole bunch of games that now also I'm gonna get through Game Pass thanks to
mm-hmm.
your Bethesda games.
Yeah.
Buy
You
whatever
don't have to
system
buy
that
Skyrim
you
again.
are most comfortable playing with the most games that you want to play. And if you want to play games on other systems, don't get mad. If you can afford it,
Yeah.
buy the other system. Don't fanboy hard. I am a PlayStation fanboy. But I don't fanboy so hard as to tell people that they shouldn't enjoy games on the system they want to enjoy them on. Noah
Mm-hmm.
is traditionally an Xbox guy, a PC, but Xbox guy.
Yeah.
Good. Play games on what you want.
If I could trade one of my Series X's for a PS5, someone
You
please
probably
hit me up.
can. It's just
I
get on like r/hardware trade or something.
Oh my gosh. I never thought to take to Reddit.
Be careful, but you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But no, it's like play games on a system that you can afford, has the most
Mm-hmm.
games that you want to play,
Yeah.
and that makes you happy. Doesn't matter what it is.
If you
And
wanted
if
to
you
play
want to
Sea of
play games
Thieves,
on
you could
another
get that.
system, save up. Buy the other
Yeah,
system.
honestly.
Don't be mad that the other systems have games that you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
And if
That
the game
honestly
and if the
that's what
system
console wars is.
furthermore, if the system does not have games that you want to play, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have games that other people don't
Yeah.
other people do want to play. There is nothing on Xbox that I want to play, partially because I have a PC.
Mm-hmm.
That does not mean that I'm going to crap all over Xbox. Not everyone wants a PC.
Not everyone
It,
can buy one.
not everyone can buy one, but also not everyone wants one.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to play console only for the rest of your life because it's straight up
Convenient?
simpler and more convenient, oftentimes more cost effective for
Oh yeah.
buying the hardware itself,
Mm-hmm.
just do it.
Heck yeah. Just do it.
So I was getting mad at them, and that's not even to start into like the reason that they brought all this up was because Pokemon Arceus had just come out and one guy was playing it and he was like, yeah, the graphics are like not great, and they started talking about how it's like yeah, like it released this year, why does it not look better? That's just lazy game development. And it's like, no, it's not. First off, releasing this year does not mean that every game is going to look like your God of War. It's not going to look like your Horizon Forbidden Dawn. It's not going to look like Halo Infinite or any other, you know, amazing game that's releasing on hardware literally up to 10 times more powerful than the Switch.
Yeah. I was about to say Dark Alliance came out last year and that game looked awful.
Yeah, it's like first off, when it comes out is there's a graph, right? And that graph has like a this is the lowest outlier of like games that come out in this time frame and the highest
Yeah.
outlier. But most of the time they fit within this average zone, right?
Yeah.
And Pokemon sits on the lower end of this average because it came out on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Straight
Plus,
up.
there's you got to think about like categories. Because
Yeah.
that
Like
almost
when did
makes me wonder, did they think that Celeste looked awful?
yeah, the 2D game, but yeah, I get your point, right?
Yeah,
The
because it's
Switch
like,
released. The original one. Switch released in 2017.
2017. March, right?
March 3rd. That's almost 5 years old.
Holy crap.
All right? That's a 5-year-old piece of hardware running at that point 3-year-old hardware from NVIDIA that was meant for mobile stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say
It's not going to compete with a PlayStation 5.
I found my Shield.
Mm-hmm.
It literally has the exact
Your
same
Tegra
chip.
X1.
Yeah. Can I
It's not going
modify
to
it?
compete. Probably.
Huh.
It's not going to compete. Straight up. And that's not a problem if you know what you're getting into. I don't play Nintendo games for the graphics. Some of the games look really good. Breath of the Wild looked really good. It was stylized in a very specific way.
It even
level
looked
designed in
good
a
on
very
the Wii
specific way.
U.
Yeah. But
Sure, it
that's
played
also part of it.
second.
The reason Breath of the Wild looks better than Pokemon is because it was architected from the ground up
For a
on,
different,
first off, a different game engine with
yeah.
different artists, different set of requirements.
Mm-hmm.
But it was designed, architected from the ground up in the early Wii U life cycle.
Yeah.
And then it came out on Switch.
Yeah. I am
Pokemon
still
is-
upset that they took away like the gamepad functions.
Yeah, but it's one of those things.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Give it another year of development to add gamepad features for the Wii U, which most people aren't going to play it on, or
Oh yeah.
put it out on Switch. But
Yeah.
there's that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Pokemon is coming out halfway through, if not late, life cycle, but it's releasing what?
LTTstore.com.
Oh, yeah, my water bottle. It's coming out, and it doesn't look great, but also it's on literal 8-year-old mobile hardware. My
Gosh.
phone is twice as powerful as the Switch at minimum.
Yeah.
That can't run Genshin Impact. This can run Genshin Impact at 1080p 60 FPS maxed out settings.
Mm-hmm. People, man.
Yeah, it's like hardware, physical hardware that you already own
Yeah.
is not going to just miraculously upgrade itself over time.
Mm-hmm. Or become just immediately irrelevant.
Yeah. And then the last thing on this topic, because I'm getting heated, is they said the solution to lazy game development, because Pokemon, which, by the way, hint, hint, I said earlier was not lazy game development. There's a lot of small features that look really nice in the game.
so
It's
many
just that they have a graphics budget that they have to fit within. The fix to lazy game development is piracy. I'll just pirate the game. First off, a couple of things. That does not fix lazy game development. Many games get pirated, and they're not lazy at all with their game development. Many games don't get pirated, and they are horrible. Look at Steam. Steam has thousands of horrible, lazy developed games. They don't get pirated most of the time. I mean, some people probably do that, but most of the time they don't even get bought.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that's going to fix lazy game development is not buying it. Because guess what? The developers of those lazy games don't make any more games.
Mm-hmm.
But when you pirate a game, it means that you're still interested enough in playing it, which means that other people are paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
And case and point, Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, I think to this day, is still the most pirated game in existence. I think. It was at least by last year or the year before.
Yep, it is. It still is.
Okay, yeah. The most pirated game in existence, a Pokemon game. And you want to claim that this Pokemon game is lazy development and that piracy fixes that? No, look back to Pokemon. It was literally the most pirated Pokemon games, period. Most pirated games in existence. Your logic is flawed.
Mm-hmm.
All it does is not pay the developers who worked hard on the game.
Yeah.
And I was watching Linus Tech Tips. They do a podcast. It's called The
Go
WAN
rent that
show,
show,
go
boy.
watch it. It's great. They were talking about this yesterday because Linus brought up how watching YouTube with ad block on is essentially the same thing as
The
piracy.
same
Because
thing. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you watched that episode yesterday, but I
Mhm.
watched it and it was
I saw the clip of it.
yeah. They brought up a lot of good points. He brought up some points that I didn't like, and he brought up games at one point where it's like if you're playing yeah. Anyways, the only, in my opinion, ethically or morally understandable time to pirate a game is in two situations. One, the game is no longer sold or on a dead platform. Wii.
Mhm.
The Wii is no longer sold. The Wii no longer sells its digital content, and it's unlikely that you're going to find a physical copy of any of the Wii games that you're looking for if it's not Wii Sports or Mario Kart.
Yeah.
In that case, if it is morally and ethically understandable. The PS Vita.
Mhm.
It is a system that is more or less dead. The store still exists, but
Yeah.
it's not supported. The devs aren't really going to get any money out of it. I
Yeah.
will still buy some games for that though, because the
Yeah.
devs still do that. But that's the thing, right? PSP, I guess is the better example.
Is it? Yeah. PSP Go.
It's a dead platform. Games aren't being sold for it anymore.
Yeah.
In that case, if the only way to get the game to play it, right, is through that, then fine. The
Yeah.
only other way that I accept it is if, let's say that you bought it, right, and you bought
Mhm.
it on Steam
Mhm.
or PS4, and then it gets removed from that platform, but it's still
Yeah.
yeah, and so like you can't download anymore, but you bought it.
Yeah.
The platform is still supported. The game might still be sold somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Let's take for example the GTA games for the
Oh
trilogy. They
gosh.
got removed from Steam, and I don't think the Steam people were even allowed to actually download the game anymore.
Oh, I didn't know it got taken off of Steam.
Yeah, it
I thought.
got all the games got taken off of Steam when they released that.
Oh my gosh.
And if you haven't had the game downloaded, slash if it removed the ability for you to download the game, yeah, I would say that's ethically and morally understandable for you to do that because it's a game that you already own that they removed from a platform that's still supported and it was still sold and it's sold now on their own launcher. No, you
Mhm.
bought it. Piracy doesn't fix lazy game development. The only
Yeah.
thing that piracy fixes is uh, nothing. But
It
also,
fixes your
in the case
license.
of something like Take Two, is greedy publishers, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that it fixes is archiving old games. You know,
Mhm.
being able to play games that you just can't anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot buy games for the Dreamcast. Period. That's a thing.
Yeah. You just have to
So,
cherish the ones that you steal.
yeah. No, I feel like you keep looking up at all of your game consoles on the
Every
wall.
single every single time you mention one, I make eye contact with it.
Yeah. So, like, that's the thing. Anyway, I want to get off the soapbox on that and away from that. They got me heated, though. To the
Was
point
that
where
the
at one
English
point
class?
it was. And I
So you
called him out on some
instantly
stuff.
removed them?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I called him out on some stuff. Not everything. I wasn't gonna get myself known in class as like, that guy. Um, but I called him out on some stuff.
Oh, heck yeah.
So yeah.
Proud of you.
Anyways, all of these for the most part have been topics that I've added. No, let's go to you. You recently got some hardware.
I did. So for the longest time for work, I've been using a 2018 um
i9 MacBook, isn't it?
yeah, i9 MacBook Pro, uh also known as the oven fryer. I think it's so hot.
Yeah,
That
your
I
electric skillet.
say yeah, exactly. It's like a hot plate. It is the first iteration that they put an i9 in, and it just I would hook it up to a Thunderbolt dock for the longest time
Mm-hmm.
and just leave it closed, but with that, it would get so hot that the like screen is like starting to yellow and die.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally like it's killing itself. And so yesterday I went and I picked up a G17.
He bought
Uh,
himself a not laptop.
yeah, exactly. Because I do a lot of like stuff that I would
Traveling.
need some power for work. Um, and we got the specs. It,
3070,
yeah,
5900
3070,
HK.
5900 HK. It's got 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. Let's see. It's got Wi-Fi 6, which I didn't know.
Most things are coming out with that now, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, right. I mean that I really enjoyed seeing that, and I learned the charger for it. I meant to send this to you earlier. Whenever you were sending me that stuff about the docks,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I'm able to charge this through the USB-C port up to 100-watt charger.
Yeah. Most higher end devices now. Like so
I'm loving that.
I think we talked about this at one point how I bought a
Mhm.
Surface.
Yes.
I bought a Surface. It has a specific charger. It's like this wide port here, right? I
Yeah.
can charge it through the USB-C port.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
Um, so yeah.
Yeah, I am all for that. It's been pretty steady actually. It did take some uh like getting used to being an Asus laptop and everything's then run through Armor Crate,
Just get rid of it.
trying to figure out how to because it's what is it called? It's like Nvidia Optimus or something.
Oh yeah, their power management stuff for
So annoying. I have all of that off.
yeah.
Uh uh but yeah, I played some Halo Infinite earlier on it to see just kind of how it handles it. And while it was downloading the campaign, I was playing around in some like trial matches with bots, and I don't think there was. It stayed above 165 frames the entire time because
Nice.
it's a 1440 display running at 165 hertz, and it holds its own pretty well. Because of Nvidia Optimus, I cannot do VR.
Oh, that's
I know. There's ways to work around it, but I just don't have enough time to sit down and do it. You
yeah.
basically have to go in and add every application to use high power mode.
Oh, that's annoying.
I know. And so I'll get it figured out, um but like I was saying at the beginning of this, it is a work laptop, and so the gaming performance isn't anything that I'm too like worried about. Uh I do a lot of stuff with Visual Studio, and dude, it was so nice just being able to open it and it just stay open. And when I opened a specific file, I was immediately able to just start typing. I could cry. I
Yep.
That made me so happy. Able to download stuff and uh oh, actually, one of my favorite parts is that the ports are on the back here.
Yep.
That
That's something that I like about
yeah,
bigger
and
laptops.
it's not too many ports. So there's actually none on this side. There's two uh 3.0s and a headphone jack. And then the charger, Ethernet, HDMI, USB-C, and another 3.0 port. And this thing can push some air without making any noise, which made me very happy because I used to have okay, I will say I did dog on Nvidia Optimus a minute ago, but I was able to do some pretty intensive tasks and not even need the fan on at all, which my last Windows my last Windows PC was the uh
Your last Windows PC was old. It was really old.
yeah,
Or,
well
or laptop.
my last laptop because I had like an HP Pavilion from it. I mean, based on the thickness of it, it's probably from like 1912. But after that one in high school, as a grad present, I got a Blade Stealth
Oh,
thirteen,
I forgot about that one.
like the first
Even though you
version.
mentioned that earlier.
It was a dual core i5
Yeah.
with crappy integrated graphics, 8 gigs of RAM. It sucked. It was not great, but you could hook up an iGPU to it, or
EE.
eGPU.
Yep.
Theirs Razor's wasn't even out yet, and whenever you bought the Stealth, you got like a discount code for
Mm-hmm.
the eGPU, but I had returned it before then. And I don't know if you knew this. Me returning that's how I ended up getting my second 980 Ti. I just returned that,
Yeah, I do remember
bought
that.
that instead, and then just pocketed the rest of it. But since then, I've just had a couple MacBooks, but I've actually really loved using this thing so far. It's really worked out, but I'll figure out the VR stuff, get that working, because it would be nice to take this with me whenever I do go to work and can play some games later in the day.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see, what else did I have? Did I disable sticky keys yet? Yes, I did. I disabled it while I was writing the notes earlier. Because I was like, oh, you know what? I'll launch up Minecraft later. And I like started tapping shift and I was like, oh, I should probably disable that. I know I'm going to get to it later and forget
Mhm.
and get annoyed. But yeah, it's been pretty nice. I opened it up right here. I'll show it real quick on the inside. Just one quick thing. It's my favorite.
Oh, it's got.
Yeah, it's got a little bump on the W so that I never lose it. That's always like, if I do anything, it's that. That's the thing I do the most. That always annoys me. Always lose my space. And when I
Not
did,
MySpace.
I missed MySpace. I'm gonna get on MySpace on this thing later and see how all my friends are doing. But yeah, that's my laptop, and probably by next week I'll have another report as to how it's going when I learn how it all actually works. But I've got another fun thing that I talked about last time on the podcast. Hey, Palm, my friend, made
Yeah.
an Icebox, and this says Nostalgiathon. This says Noah. This says something cool, and this says something cool. But yeah, he made it Skyrim themed. We kind of bonded over Skyrim, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm super happy with how it turned out, and I'm just gonna quickly copy and paste his Etsy store into the chat, and we'll put it up later too. But he's making like a bunch of like D&D stuff, and so like look at like the foot, like the metal work on this.
I
He
want
like
one.
burnt it and everything. Oh, and it actually works, which is nice. It's like pretty quality too. Like I wouldn't be worried about like this thing at all. Like it's not brittle or anything. It's super dope. But he also makes like D&D books, like custom, uh, like for shelves and stuff if you like play in a room and it's like themed. He has this one book that has an eyeball on the cover of it, and it has an eyelid that opens and closes. It's super dope. But yeah, so far that's all the new stuff I've got over the past week or so. And I'm ready for our first game night podcast so that we can
Play some D&D.
play some D&D. I rolled about a 1700, so that's a crit,
No
I think.
biting, no biting my headphone cord. Let go of it. Let go of it. Let go of it, bud. Let go of my headphone cord.
No.
Let go. Let go. Come on, I gotta get this out of your mouth, bud. Thank you. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, please let go of my shirt with your claws. If you're gonna bite stuff, you're gonna go down.
Oh no.
He wasn't even chewing on it. He just like,
You just had it in there?
yeah, he just had it in his mouth, and he wouldn't release his like. He wouldn't like. I didn't want to just be like, yeah, but he wouldn't get it. He wouldn't open his mouth up, so it was hung on his one of his
I couldn't scream.
canine fangs. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Oh,
wish I had
dude.
screenshotted that quick enough of you.
Wow. No, he's like I said, he's needy right now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
D and D
amazing.
man. I still got to write stuff for that.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. Also, I don't know how much time you have. It's 6 o'clock, so I don't know if you got to go. If not,
I've
you
got
got like
I've got just a couple minutes.
okay, cool. So two things. NFTs are everywhere. I hate it. It's annoying.
Yes.
Other
Yes.
thing, back to D&D. So I'm doing this campaign with Brooke and Logan, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the three of us currently. I'm the DM and they're the players.
Yeah.
We're introducing Logan's girlfriend, Abby, to the
Mhm.
campaign next session. Oh
Yeah.
man, some cool stuff just went down.
Ooh.
So they got into this town, right? This
Yeah.
the capital of this holy this area, the theocracy, right, of this
Yeah.
area, area ruled by the church. They got into the capital of it, and undercover slash disguised as the head of the church
Mhm.
was a mind flayer,
Ooh.
and he sent him to go recover a magical relic that when some people, some priests of the church saw the mind flayer basically eating the brain out of this dude, the old head of the church, ran away with it, but they became afflicted with basically they're insane at this point. So
Yeah.
the players found them and they could not stop repeating, "We can't let him have it." They get back with this holy relic of the church, and it is basically a doomsday weapon.
Oh my gosh.
And so they figure that out, and Logan's character casts Circle of Truth, so you can't lie in it.
Yeah.
And they're basically just like, "What do you want with this?" And because he's a mind flayer, he has resistances to certain things,
Yeah.
including stuff, and it's an illusion, so he could technically cause the illusion to do that. So the eye flickered, and then Logan called him out on it because he's like, "You can't lie in this. How
Yeah.
are you doing that?" And so I had him like basically morph out of this thing, and his tentacles started showing up. The and I played music during it. It was great.
Yeah.
They run away from this because they can't handle it. They're level 3 right now. They cannot
Yeah.
handle a challenge level 8
Oh
mind
my
flayer.
gosh.
When the mind flayer makes his appearance, the gods of my world get mad because he's in a church and start like casting lightning on the church, and a whole bunch of the old priests attempt to stop him, but they're just getting blown away. And he
Yeah.
uses this holy relic, and it creates this giant, essentially purple sun that appears above the city and
Yeah.
begins to grow and sucks things up until it just envelops the entire area. And then when it was done, it shrank back down to the small size. There's now floating pieces and just a giant crater by the sea where this city
Holy.
was. And our players have disappeared.
Oh my gosh.
And I left him on a cliffhanger with that. And Brooke, and she looked at me and she goes, "I hate you."
I would too.
So yeah, I'm doing that. And
I'm excited for what comes next.
dude, it's great. I'm excited too. I've got another week to flesh
Yeah.
out the introduction to Abby's character. I've got the basics
Yeah.
down. I'm hoping that Brooke and Logan aren't listening. If you are, stop listening. Her character is so it's basically the races of mankind against the races of the demons, right?
Yeah.
There's a settlement in an area of the map called the Kingdom of Myth, which the vast majority of is basically an unpassable desert.
Yeah.
Far, far into it, there's a settlement of essentially half demons and castaways from who like left the demon lord's army.
Yeah.
Her character is going to be a half demon, and she
Yo.
basically plays this trickery character. So they're going to wake up in the middle of the desert as like a search party and scavenger party goes out to like find
Yeah.
resources for their settlement, and they're going to see this thing that looks like an elf,
Yeah.
and then she's going to turn around and have like black soulless eyes.
Oh
It's
my
just going to scare the
God.
crap out of them.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to
Well,
it.
I can't wait to hear what's next, my dude.
It's good. Anyways, any closing statements? No, that's it for me.
Um, be good to one another and play video games.
That you don't pirate. All right. It's been good, and we shall see you next time.
And we love you.